The mother of jailed British tourist Laura Plummer is leaving Egypt on Friday and will not return because the experience has been so traumatizing. Ms. Plummer's sister, Jane Sinclair, told Mail Online that she is flying to the Middle East next week to take over the responsibility of managing Laura's case.
Yesterday, Laura, 33, fell to the floor after being sentenced to 3 years in jail by an Egyptian court after powerful painkillers were found in her suitcase.
Stunned, the woman from Hull sobbed before slumping to the floor, after which she was taken to the notorious Kenna prison, home to convicted jihadis and other serious criminals.
Speaking about Laura's plight, Jane said today her sister was confused and behaving strangely in prison.
Her whole life is flashing before her eyes, she said.
Mom said she kept having flashbacks of being a small child.
I'm not a doctor, but it might be the brain trying to process everything that's happening.
Jane also said her mother, who is in Egypt to be by her daughter's side during the ordeal, is flying back to Hull on Friday, and will not be returning.
She explained, "Mum's not slept in 3 days, it's unbelievable. It's been horrible for her as well. She can't fly back again, it's been far too traumatizing." Jane said that her and her other sister, Rachel, will fly out to Egypt next week to take over from her mother.
Mum said straight away, "Who's going to come back next time?"
She said. "We're going to have to take it in turns. She's got 5 siblings, so we'll have to sort something out between us." The family has already spent £40,000 visiting Laura and providing her with food.
But Jane said the family just wants shy, quiet Laura to come home after her horrific experience.
She said her sister, who can't even watch Jurassic Park because she's scared of dinosaurs, is not suited to prison and has previously warned she could die behind bars.
Laura's family has previously said she was robbed and beaten while being held for her trial, being picked on because she is foreign.
But Jane said Laura, who is a Christian, has always been respectful of Egyptian culture.
Egypt also reportedly defied the British Foreign Office by sending Laura to Kenna prison.
"I thought I'd be freed, I thought it was the end," Laura sobbed yesterday. Laura escaped the death penalty for transporting the opiate tramadol in her luggage at the start of a holiday.
However, she was told she would still be locked up.
Today her sister Jane Sinclair revealed the Foreign Office intervened to block Laura being sent to the dangerous Kenna prison, but was ignored. But after turning up to visit her daughter at a jail in Cairo, her mum Roberta Sinclair, 64, discovered Laura had been moved 150 miles to the notorious hellhole. Jane, 40, said, "It's really underhand. My mum went to Cairo to where they were told she would be, but when she turned up she wasn't there. They have slyly taken her to where the British Foreign Office told us she would never be placed, but the Egyptian authorities have already moved her there.
Our biggest fear with this scenario has been confirmed. She will be sharing a tiny cell with jihadi terrorists and rapists.
I honestly dread to think.
Laura won't survive a day in there, let alone 3 years.
She won't even make it through that. I can't believe they've even still sent her there.
The jail is situated north of Luxor and Jane is fearful her sister won't make it out alive. A Foreign Office spokesperson said, "We are continuing to provide assistance to Laura and her family following the court ruling in Egypt, and our embassy is in regular contact with the Egyptian authorities." Describing the conditions in the Kenna prison, Jane said, "I've seen pictures, and if you kept a dog in there in the Rispka side, you would lose your dog."
It's honestly that bad.
She said the family will be expected to pay for Laura's food and will only be able to visit a maximum of once every 2 weeks.
Jane said the family's Christmas and year has been ruined following the sentencing of Laura.
She said Laura is covered in mosquito bites, had a scabby face, and her hair is falling out.
Jane said, "Laura has got 3 years, but we have got a life sentence with this. Our family will never be able to shake this off."
"We come from a privileged background, so we did not need the money. Her ticket was £500, she had £1,500 and she had £3,500 in her bank."
There was nothing on the travel guide website when visiting Egypt that says you cannot take tramadol into the country.
The evidence was so overwhelming in her favor, and yet she still got 3 years.
Her solicitor told us that he was expecting to be freed and allowed to leave, but we think she was made an example of.
Jane confirmed Laura's shop assistant job in Prince's Quay in Hull has been kept vacant until she returned from her Egypt hellhole.
She added, "Laura isn't the strongest of people, she's on the verge of a nervous breakdown, covered in scabs."
She's been bitten from head to foot in mosquito bites, and she's like a ghost. Her skin is translucent and the muscles in her legs don't work, they're like jelly.
That's why she had to be seated during the court hearing.
Ms. Plummer said, "After her sentence, everyone was saying how strong my case was and that it was only a matter of time."
How can this be happening?
"I can't do 3 years here, I'm so frightened, I haven't done anything wrong."
Shop worker Laura, from hell, was arrested after she was found to be carrying 290 tramadol tablets in her suitcase, a painkiller which is legal in the UK but banned in Egypt.
Ms. Plummer's family, who have described her as naive, said she was taking the tablets for her Egyptian partner Omar Kabu, who suffers from severe back pain.
But now a judge at a preliminary court has sentenced her to 3 years imprisonment and ordered her to pay a fine of 100,000 Egyptian pounds, £4,205. Ms. Plummer's sister Jane Sinclair told Sky News Today that her sister, who she described as an absolute mess, will have to wait 60 days before she can appeal.
She said, "What's going to happen in those 60 days?
What's going to happen to her?"
She thought she was going to come home.
It's a living hell.
Ms. Sinclair said the Egyptian justice system has sentenced her whole family as they are all in a state worrying if Ms. Plummer will ever get out.
Last night, Ms. Plummer was moved to a police holding cell next to the court in Port Town, Safaga.
Later, Ms. Plummer was told she would be transferred to Kina, 150 miles away, in just a few days, The Sun reports.
Yesterday, her lawyer said Ms. Plummer had accidentally confessed in front of a judge after reportedly misunderstanding a question.
Ms. Plummer's family previously claimed she was suicidal after sharing a 15-feet square cell with 25 women inmates. It has also been claimed that staff at the jail, which is on the outskirts of the city of Hurghada, have shown little sympathy for what the Egyptian media are calling the tramadol tourist. Mr. Kabu was described by witnesses at the court as being very sad after the sentence was delivered, while Laura cried so heavily that her mother had to calm her down.
Speaking after the sentence, her visibly distraught mother, Roberta Sinclair, said, "This is not fair.
She's done it in all innocence."
She brought the drugs to help someone, to help a family. She added, "She's the kindest person. I was worried about her before, when she was in the police station. I'm even more worried now she's in actual prison with real criminals.
I feel sick, I'm so frightened for her."
She has now been transferred to a police station, from which she will be sent to jail.
The sentence, however, can be changed as the case progresses through the Egyptian legal system.
It is expected to take a minimum of 1 month for the second stage of the case to begin.
The family said her lawyers lodged an immediate appeal.
Ms. Plummer's sister, Rachel, said their mother Roberta was devastated by the sentence. She said the family was trying to find out more details about what happened in the courtroom today.
She said, "My mom's obviously devastated.
She's out there by herself. She added that she did not know whether the appeal would be heard today.
She said, "We're just hoping." Even half of that would be better. Anything less than 3 years.
He said her case had been raised with the Egyptian authorities by Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson and the Foreign Office Minister Alistair Burt. I am hopeful that good sense will eventually prevail, he told BBC Radio 4's The World at 1.
This is a damning indictment actually of the Egyptian authorities in the sense that good sense and fairness certainly hasn't prevailed in this case.
This is a decent woman who has made a terrible mistake who shouldn't be incarcerated in any prison, never mind an Egyptian prison.
Neville Plummer, Laura's father, said his daughter is on the verge of a breakdown after the sentencing.
The family are all absolutely devastated for Laura. It has been very distressing for everyone involved, but we have got to stay strong for Laura, he said. The last time I spoke to Laura was 2 days after she was arrested. To be honest, I think she was sentenced on the day she was arrested.
This has been drawn out and dragged on, and in a way a line has now been drawn in the sand and things can only get better.
We have now got to stay positive for Laura, Mr. Plummer said.